was like, hey, this is where I'm familiar with. I mean, now I live in LA, so it's different, but like I get the mentality of being stuck to the only place that you know.
I thought you were doing drugs there for a minute.
Yeah,
Woody. I was so
I was going to, dude. I'm in Colorado, and I had every intention of just blowing smoke at my camera all night long as a mock of Kyle. I was just gonna,
I
was
would
gonna
love
get
it.
high
I would
as
love it if you were
fuck
high
and-
right now.
But I didn't get. Maybe there'll be another show while I'm still in Colorado. But the
I
timing
hope
was so tough.
Yeah, the problem with Colorado, this is where Cali like kicks
But that
their
was
fucking
water.
ass, is you can't get weed delivered. Right,
Oh.
like Colorado doesn't do that.
Stone Age.
It's some sort of like they just haven't quite gotten past that. There's people who are like, oh, well, I don't know about people delivering marijuana. Come on, and it's like I don't know, man. Like there's like 3 dispensaries every 5 miles. Like maybe we could just deliver it.
Why
and
is
then
it
people
better
aren't
to
driving
drive to
stoned.
pick up drugs?
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
Right.
I understand.
I mean, not everybody can drive stoned, and not everybody should.
No.
I know one person in particular who does drive stoned, and he's going to always drive stoned. Okay.
Well, I can probably ride a motorcycle stoned. You don't know until you try.
I can
Yeah.
definitely ride a motorcycle stoned. I could ride a paramotor stoned.
I could fly a jet stoned. I could fly a jet stoned.
Yeah.
I could perform some sort of
the train.
surgery on myself in the woods after my father fake stabbed
You know,
me.
yeah, I flew Microsoft Flight Sim drunk. So I mean, and I did take off from LAX in a 747 and landed it. So
Whoa.
I'm confident that if we ever get into a situation, you know, I'm at least capable of flying while under the influence.
I think so.
But I don't know about Stone though, guys.
So in NC, you can't even have fucking alcohol delivered. You can't have beer
Oh,
delivered in North Carolina.
wait, but
Yeah.
there also were brew-throughs, which were literally drive-through like cold lockers where you'd go pick up your beer. So the fact that they made it easy enough, you could just convert a car wash into like a glorified refrigerator aisle, but you can't get it delivered to your house. Much safer, by the way.
Yeah,
So-
and I can't mail anything either.
Also, I have
That's all
had
reversed.
alcohol delivered. Like, we had a sponsor. Was it like wine.com? Kyle, do you remember who delivered us wine?
Shit, I don't remember.
It's
It
not
was one of
important who
those
they were, but
wine.
they-
It was one of those online wineries. You know?
Hot Load said Wink, WINC. I don't know if that's
Oh, that's
a typo.
that's that butthole tightening company. That's different.
Wing.
In any case, I don't know how they got around it. Maybe
Oh,
they
well,
just
I
didn't
don't
tell
know.
anyone.
I think shipping, like ordering online and having an 18 plus sign it is different from calling and having it delivered like Grubhub or
Man,
Uber Eats.
I've tried.
Yeah, maybe.
I've tried to get beer delivered just like that though, like with the wine thing, and they won't fucking do it in NC. I can't mail it out either. I can't send beer as a gift. There was a beer that you could only get here, brewed here, like in my town. I tried to ship it to a buddy. I fucking almost got arrested at the post office. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Really, it's
can
illegal.
imagine what that's like.
yeah,
What's happening behind you, Blaine Truth?
He's got a little dog.
Is there a
back
dog?
there. Yeah, he's got a
That's my
dog.
dog.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it could be someone trying to kill me. I don't know.
Yeah,
It looks like there's sno behind you.
that's a carpet.
That's a carpet. All right.
That's a carpet.
Are
That's my
you
carpet.
high?
There's no telling.
No, I would love to see Woody high because I've seen Woody drunk and it's fun. He lets loose a little bit and it's fun when he's a little tipsy. When he's drunk, not many people are fun or interesting drunk. Drunk Woody is not a lot of fun. Drunk me is not a lot of fun. Drunk most people is not a lot of fun. But
True.
tipsy
Tipsy's
Woody is
fun.
fun, and I think stoned Woody would also be a lot of fun.
Not
and
ripped.
silly.
But a little giggly. Yeah, I can see that. With
Yeah.
the right company and the right content.
Sure, right here on the show.
Yeah.
So I wish that like Colorado delivered weed, and that would be our mission right now. Would be to get some weed delivered to Woody.
And that's so wild because it is a forward or a forward thinking state with weed, right? Like it was
For
one of
sure.
the first ones to do all this stuff. So it's just weird, especially given now how lax, like in LAX, they will not arrest you. You're free and legally allowed to walk through and fly with up to an ounce of weed. And
Yeah.
that's just okay, right? And so it's wild to me that is a thing that they're just like, fuck it, whatever. But you know, you go next state over and you're arrested for having any at all, or it's just like
I've
let's
flown
get
out of
together.
LA. I've flown out of LAX a bunch of times with so much weed in my luggage, and I was just like, they know.
Yeah.
Like there's dogs everywhere. They know. Like they have to know.
So you guys ready? You guys ready for this? On Sundays in North Carolina, you cannot buy alcohol before noon, and it's been like that for the past, I don't know, 32 years.
Oh,
wait,
sure,
what about the Atlanta airport where they won't serve you alcohol on Sundays? So at all, which was a travesty for me flying back home from family time at 9:30 in the morning. All I wanted was a beer.
Yeah, there's a dispensary super close to me.
Oh, you're gonna run to it. Call them up.
I have thought about it. Like, here's a Google Maps image in the PK.
Woody, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it for you to run and get some.
I can also.
Do you see how close? It's 0.1 miles from here.
but you just want to go in and you want to say, "Hey, I want a vape pen.
Yeah.
As the weakest thing you have because I've never smoked before. I do a podcast and everybody wants to see me get high. Just tell them, and you'll be in and out of there in 10 minutes.
Yeah, they'll give you a dose. It'll probably be like literally the pen's called a dose, and it'll be like, you know, like you won't be able to get too high.
A vape pen. That's what I asked for.
Yeah.
And ask for a hybrid or sativa leaning hybrid because we don't want you getting couch locked.
Yeah, basically tell them you don't want something that's going to put you to sleep.
Yeah.
So
you want to get giggly and creative. There you go.
That would be so. Right. That's going to be so wonderful. What
He's doing it.
He's putting my shoes on.
This is.
I'll leave in a minute.
Yeah, just leave your camera on. That's fine.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be wonderful. I'm so excited for when you get high.
Hybrid or sativa leaning hybrid. All right.
Yeah. Tell them you're gonna be active. Tell them exactly what you're doing. You don't want to be sleepy. You know.
Yeah.
So it's gonna and they'll recommend a sativa. I'm sure.
It really, it really is the easiest thing in the world too.
I emailed my probation officer the other day and I was like, hey, dumb question. I ask you those a lot because like I never know what he's gonna say yes or no to. It's kind of weird because at first I was under the impression that this guy was really want to be locked down, but like after meeting him, like he realizes that like my whole situation is kind of bullshit. Like he deals with like hardened criminals on a daily basis. Like he's all stressed. He's telling me while I'm pissing in a cup. He's like, Kyle, I'm so stressed out. You don't even know this job. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I just got out of prison for half an ounce of weed. I'm pretty stressed out too. I'm pissing in a cup in front of a stranger in my guest bathroom right now. But he's just like, yeah, you don't even know how stressful this job is. And
I'll be back.
So we kind of got this connection, I thought. And so like when I wanted to go gambling with some friends, I was like, there's no way that he's going to let me drive to Cherokee, North Carolina.
He's back.
I love that he rode the motorcycle to get the drugs. I forgot about that for a second.
Nice gloves.
Yeah, 0.1 mile.
0.1 mile.
Did you score?
What'd you get?
I did.
Not the goods. Wait, that looks like. Okay. Oh yeah, it's fine.
It's an Orangina stevia. Let me see.
A fake sugar.
Orange vagina stevia.
Yeah. Single-use ceramic core CO2 oil vape system. It's a lift ticket, apparently. I get it. It gets you high. Okay.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't even have a button. You just pull and you're good to go. Although it might take a couple to heat up the coil. You might have to inhale a couple times.
Okay. He said 2 or 3 hits max.
Yeah, well, you'll be able to see. You'll be able to see what you can breathe out. Like it'll be apparent.
How big is a hit? Is it like from that 70s show where you just inhale as much as you can and hold it?
No, take it easy.
Don't do that.
Just like a normal.
We're here for like 3 more hours. You just take it nice and easy. I don't need you passing out on me.
Like a half breath, just like. But you don't even need to pull that hard. Yeah, you're gonna be.
I'm gonna laugh when Woody just fucking gets narcoleptic for the rest of the show. Like, he just starts nodding off.
Well, it's lighting up. It's working. All right, that's good.
There you go. Yeah.
So there you go.
All right, now let's wait 3 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. I really would. Like
yeah, and then the good news about a pen is that it's very controlled, and you can get as much as you need. And with weed, it's like alcohol. You could get higher later if you wanted to. This is not like people talk about like smoking weed is like, oh, I'm gonna be high in 45 minutes. Like, I don't know. Like, you're gonna know in about.
Does it hit this fast, or am I just making it up?
You're high now.
No, you're it's that easy.
Yeah, it hits that fast. You're high.
Yeah, I think
All right.
That's
Oh,
nice. So I mean, it was you walked. I mean, I like. So what's I see your location data. You're in the middle of Colorado.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
what was the store like? You know, did it look like an Apple store, or was it a little more homey?
so there was a lot of security at the front door. There was like a little waiting room, and they carded me, but they didn't just card me. They like entered my card into a system, I guess, to verify that it wasn't just a bouncer using his judgment. I think they used a computer to
They scan it and they check it with the DMV.
No, they only take cash. So there's an ATM machine in that little lobby cell thing. They've got you there, and I had some cash on me, so I just walked right in. And when I told them that I had never smoked before, which is only kind of sort of true, like one time in the Dominican Republic, we tried it and it didn't work, and we might have smoked oregano. But when I was like, I've never smoked before, my friend said, sativa vape pen or something like that. And he's like, never ever. Suddenly I'm a celebrity. There's 3 employees there. They're all like paying way too much attention to me. I don't want anyone to like I don't know, somehow I want to keep it a secret from the people at the marijuana dispensary that I might smoke pot. I think I might have just blinked out. And I'm like embarrassed that I'm buying this. I'm like, what would my mom think? Hey mom, I'm not sure you're watching this. And that's what's going through my head. And he's just like, dude, yeah, we'll get you this, we'll get you that. He's hooking me up with like, I don't know, supplies that I will need to get high with for a long time. And it's like, no. This is just I'm passing through Colorado. Like we're not on the same wavelength. He's got me with these like rechargeable things, and he's trying to throw in gummies and this and that. And he's trying to get me to review his store and all this on top of it. But I'm like, I just kind of want, what Kyle said to get. And and even though I asked for sativa, they hit me up with a hybrid and an indica pen too. And they were like selling those, but I was like, no. They told me what to get, so that's what I came back with.
Way to stay true to your guns. They were.
I like indica.
Oh,
that's your strongest. Yeah, because I want to get fucked up. But
it's a different kind of experience than the one that you're smoking is a little more less body, more mind, right? Like you'll feel a little giggly, silly. It's more creative stuff. Indica is like I want to go to bed. I want to sit in the couch and feel like I'm a part of the couch. You know those old Dare commercials where the girls feel faded?
They just like sink into it.
Yeah, it's actually like that.
The guy behind the counter is like, indica, couch. That's how you remember. I'm like, all right, I got that. He didn't have one for sativa though.
Sunny Sativa.
I hope you called it what you called it when you got back. The
sativa.
Orange.
I messed it up. I kept messing. Orangina was the flavor.
Orangina.
I love that it's Orangina because I'm imagining like Donald Trump, but with a pussy. Like I'm imagining what that would taste like. And
does he grab his own
bitter.
pussy by the pussy?
Dude. What is it about weed like names that we really couldn't figure out? Like maybe we should normalize the names a little bit. Like maybe we shouldn't call it like gigafuck or like concrete barrier or something like that. They're all such a like a hard name to just be like, yeah, I want the super glue. Thanks. Like,
I don't know, because it's this weird thing where it used to be this street thing, and it was like strains were named by like criminals, and so like who names these things? Criminals do. And now
Bubba
it's
OG was Bubba growing in his backyard, and he's like, "This is that good shit."
Yeah, and now they're named by like guys who are like store owners, businessmen, or at least legitimate businessmen, I guess is the right way to say it. So like it's Girl Scout cookies or something like that.
If you think about it, the names they got on the street, it's like they don't have to advertise anything, like everybody already knows it if they know. Yeah. So, and if they don't know, then it's like they're gonna know. Eventually.
Yeah, if I heard train wreck, I was like, for real?
Yeah. Oh, I guess I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah, let's go. One of my like illicit marijuana dealers, he would get seeds from California, so like he actually had the right strains. So when you bought Trainwreck, you were getting Trainwreck. So that was pretty cool.
Nice.
How long does it last?
It depends.
As long as you want it to.
Yeah. I mean, like
And
No.
you just keep going. He's like each puff, like what's the half life of each puff?
Yeah, that's what I. Yeah, Kyle
I'd
phrased
say
it well.
I'd say what, like 45 minutes to like when it starts to taper off, and then maybe like 2 hours after the initial where you're like not noticeably.
Yeah.
Well, this is good data. Yeah. So full high starts in like 2 minutes, lasts 45, and then tapers for another hour. And
roughly
3/4. Okay.
speaking.
Right,
For
yeah.
me, it's always like instantly
minutes.
high, and like after 20 minutes, I'm not as high as I want to be anymore.
Yeah. I'm like, that was really great. We got to refresh it, top it off a little bit. It's like refilling the glass.
Yeah, like every 20 or 30 minutes, I would want some more. But it's
I feel
so
like
goddamn
Kyle's
cheap.
recalling his Kyle athlete days back when he had
Yes,
an
yes,
Olympic
Yes,
tolerance,
this is,
right?
This is Heisman.
Olympic, that's
Heisman
funny.
Kyle, right? Because current Kyle cannot.
Oh,
perform
no,
these
I can't
feats that
hang.
he's talking about.
Mm-mm.
Current Kyle's right here with me.
Yeah, it's
Same level, 100%.
Oh man, that makes me think back to when I was like a fat alcoholic 3 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And I could drink like a fucking 6-pack of IPA at like a starter, you know,
my
like
God.
just as a starter. Now fucking 2 IPAs and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, how the fuck did I do this? You know,
we had
What's IPA?
India Pale Ale, just a hipster beer that I drink.
heavy high alcohol beer.
Yeah,
Also
like,
delicious.
mhm.
we
Very
had
good.
there's a YouTube channel that was called Strain Central where he like reviewed different kinds of weed, and he would do all sorts of like weed Olympic type shit. And we had him on the show like years and years ago, and then like YouTube cracked down on the weed stuff and took his channel away, I think. And then we had him back on the channel like a month and a half ago or something like that, roughly. And he had gone through this like crazy depression and alcoholism phase after YouTube took his channel away.
Oh no.
And he was talking about how much vodka he would drink in a day, and he would drink like a gallon of vodka a day. Like he would wake up at like whatever, like 6 or 7 a.m. and he would be at the gas station buying another bottle of vodka, and the gas station guy would have to go unlock it from the case because he's the first vodka customer of the day. And he would talk about like shaking, getting his debit card in the machine, like not being able to get it in on the first 2 or 3 tries. Like
He went to rehab for alcohol twice. So he had
Jesus
it bad.
Christ.
See, YouTube, what you've done. This is your fault.
I didn't really think of it through that lens, but you're right. It's all a downstream effect of YouTube cracking down on the pot.
Just let the man smoke his weed.
And so, like, I used to, when I first started, my roommate back in college, Billy, was the one that, you know, he was, I mean, he got arrested for selling weed out of our dorm room, all this stuff. It was really great. But, like, he was the one that would be watching at, like, fucking 2 a.m. some of these channels, like, Custom Grow 420 or some shit like that, where this guy would do like weed challenges, and it was like the kind that you're watching this guy do this, and you're like, you're not enjoying yourself. He'll be like, I'm gonna smoke a gram of hash oil in one puff, and I'm like, oh, like why? Like that's so unnecessary. But yeah, the dude would do it, cry, cough a lot, drool everywhere, like. You know, and then
People
the video
do the
would
same
have, like,
thing with alcohol too, right?
Well, Shoe Nice.
Shoe Nice.
Yeah.
Shoe Nice.
What's that guy? Badlands Chugs. He just does it with everything. Yeah.
I'm even thinking of like random college kids doing beer bongs and stuff where they're drinking more than they want to.
Yeah, for sure, but not to the extent. Like Shoe Nice would literally chug a 5th of Goldschlager and then like eat a deodorant stick, and then.
Oh god.
How you feeling over there, Woody?
I'm happy.
You're looking
Yeah.
content. You're looking like Buddha right now. Yeah.
Zen mode, huh?
Mm-hmm.
God, I wish I could smoke some fucking dope.
This is just making Kyle like. It would be like it's like the episode where I think it was Kyle was drinking, and I think I had just kicked like basically like alcoholism, and I saw him drinking. I'm like, fuck it, I gotta have at least one beer, and then like that one beer turned into 2, and then. That's how they get you, man. That's how they get you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. You didn't open the beer and force it down my throat. It's not your
The
fault.
high is not that high. Like, I don't know.
You can just keep hitting it.
Yeah, that was only 2. He said 2 or 3.
I mean, if it were me, I would be like, I'm about to go get my nicotine vape in a second because like I'm missing it right now. But I would be smoking it like that. I would just be hitting it over and over. We took.
Does this little clear lens tell you how much is left?
Yeah, you can see the goo in there. If you like move it around, like that liquid, that goo in there,
you have half a gram in there. So for me, if I don't smoke vape pens, I much prefer like straight like a bong or a joint.
Yeah.
And like the act of literally exhaling a volcano of cloud into somebody's faces, you know. But no, I mean that'll last you if you really wanted to guess, it probably like 70, 80, 90 puffs if you're ripping that. That's a lot. And that's only until you can see like a noticeable change. You could probably get a good 250 out of it for half a gram if you're smoking it like over time.
By the way, that half a gram is less than what I would smoke per day of concentrate. Like
yeah.
I would smoke almost a gram.
Wait, were you you were smoking like you were doing like a gram of like wax?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that is
probably like 0.75, 0.8 grams a day.
On the tier list, Woody, of smoking weed, right? Like you have like your light beers, right? You're just general, like you can go buy some weed. And then you have concentrates like you're smoking, which are great. And then you have dab rigs, which anytime you need like a blowtorch to smoke anything, like you're already in the next level of like, this is no longer like you're not casually consuming a drug. Like you have a blowtorch for this. So to torch like a gram, it's like taking ripping shots. I could not do a dab right now and be coherent. Functional. It would be so bad. Yeah. It's a different level. It's
good shit. It's the best. It's the best. I fucking love it. I'm really excited about testing my tolerance level because like when I was smoking a lot, like I couldn't take a tolerance break. I'd be like, all right, we'll take a tolerance break, but first let's get high. and then the next day would come around and it's like, whew, man, it is 10 a.m. and
I haven't smoked since yesterday.
Haven't smoked since last night.
I just slept 8 hours.
Midnight. So. Yeah, it's been hours since I've smoked. I don't think I can do this. We need to smoke some more. So like I've had no sort of like tolerance break like throughout that whole period of time. So like, but now it's gonna be like 2 years and 3 or 4 months or something like that when I finally get to smoke again. And it's going to be there's zero tolerance after like 2 years. I'm getting
zero tolerance after like 2 weeks. I feel like
it's almost completely gone after 2 weeks or something like that. Like I think just hitting like a little bowl is really going to send me to a scary place, and I'm really looking forward to it.
You would love the way this smells right now. I can smell it.
Yeah.
I hope the hotel just comes fucking bashing on the door.
It's pretty mild. I'm like, is it in my nose hairs? Is it like what's happening?
I've never been crazy about the way weed smells. Like I smell it all the time in Atlanta. Like I was just at a gas station like 4 hours ago. I'm like, weed. Yep.
Who got it
here,
man?
Who's got the weed? And I look around and everybody's black, so you don't know.
In NC, it's like I don't know if it's weed or if somebody just hit a skunk in their truck every single time. I can never really tell.
It smells like that, but also there's like a plant that smells like weed out here in the summertime, and it could just be weed, honestly. But I don't think it is. It's
the guy I'm doing this motorcycle trip with doesn't smoke at all. Like didn't even know what weed smells like. So it wasn't like a year or two ago. He was like, it turned out that was weed all this time, and people hitting skunks with their car is way less common than I thought.
I'll retell the story to that day I die because I think it's so ridiculous that when Wings was staying at my house for his fitness thing, me and my girlfriend went downstairs to the basement and got high as fuck, just smoking flower out of a bong. And I didn't want Wings to know that I was smoking weed because Wings can't keep a secret to save his fucking life. Like he can't even keep his own secrets, much less mine. Like we came upstairs all bleary eyed, just fucking red eyed, and like there's dinner's being prepared, and we're like really excited about that. And we're all sitting there watching Trailer Park Boys or some nonsense, and he's on the couch like next to us, and he's just like, somebody cooking cabbage. I smell cabbage. And I'm just like, I look at my girlfriend, I'm like, he thinks weed smells like cabbage. This loser doesn't know what weed smells like because nobody's ever offered him any.
Cabbage.
But they've offered him cabbage.
They've offered him cabbage many a time.
Boiled cabbage.
He had no idea what weed smelled like.
How do you go through life without learning what weed smells like. Like you've never been at a party where weed was. I learned what weed
Oh,
smelled
stop!
like.
No, no.
I was gonna say I don't think
You
weed
can
goes to
stop at
parties.
you've never been at a
Yeah.
party. You don't have to go to
Yeah.
like.
I was on a bus headed to a ski slope, and someone fired up their bong or something on the bus, and that's when I learned what weed smelled like.
Very
Yeah,
bold.
I just always knew. I don't know. Like I remember in like high school, like someone started smoking outside, like and it was just like, that's weed. That's
Yeah.
I just knew then. And I don't remember the first time I smelled it. I'm sure the first time I smelled it, I had no idea, but that's the first time I remember smelling it and being like, that's weed. That's weed. That's weed
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, like also just looking at somebody smoking out of a bowl, and I'm like, well, it's not. You're not ripping tobacco, right? You're not like, ooh, wacky.
That guy really likes cigarettes. He's got he's got a he's rolling his own.
He's an aficionado.
Oh, look, he's rolling them up like a cowboy. He's one of those hipsters.
Oh yeah.
That's what I
Dude,
don't
it is-
understand. That's the ultimate hipster move, by the way, when you're rolling your own cigarettes.
I knew people that did that.
I still do.
Yeah, it's a thing. And you'd think like every time somebody buys rolling papers here, they at a gas station or whatever, everyone assumes weed.
Yeah.
But a ton of my friends would be like legitimately fucking going and making their own cigarettes because it's cheaper or something.
Is it? Yeah. Is it just cheaper? And
Way
also, I've
cheaper.
heard like not as toxic or whatever. Because
That's what they say, but fucking,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, you can get that big bag of tobacco. I mean, it's like big. It's like
yeah.
it looks to me like 2 pounds of tobacco or something. I don't know what it actually is, but it's a big fucking sack of tobacco.
It's like 2 pounds for like $7 or something.
Yeah,
it's a
crazy
lot.
cheap.
Oh,
and like
wow.
a carton of smokes, like in Georgia has cheap cigarettes, but still a carton of smokes is $70-$80 or something.
Yeah.
In New York or something, they're probably 150 or something crazy like that. So I guess I get it, but like I've smoked those things. That is not something I enjoy. Like I could smoke a cigarette right now and really enjoy it. Like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Hmm.
There's no way in hell I'd smoke a rolled fucking cigarette.
I've never smoked a rolled cigarette either because
They're harsh.
it just seems
Why
like
do
there's
it?
a reason. Yeah, like why? So
They perfected cigarettes, guys. They've already tapped. They haven't.
They did.
Nobody's invented like cigarette 2. I guess it was the Juul. The Juul.
I'll
So
tell you what does interest me though. Like I remember seeing they make those rolling machines for cigarettes. I don't know if you've ever
Yeah.
seen those. And it like rolls a perfect cigarette that looks like a store-bought cigarette. And I was always like,
Oh.
man,
gotta put weed in there.
I'd love to put weed in here. and have it,
You
have
can
it
get.
make me perfect little joints.
You can get. There's a bunch of brands that sell weed cigarettes, even with like the filter looks identical to a cigarette, but it's just weed.
The filter cuts down on the high.
No, it's not like an actual porous filter. It's just like
Oh.
it's not like a filter. It's just it looks like a
a
filter.
make-believe
like
filter.
maybe a glass tip or something like that. I used to use.
Yeah.
I've used glass tips, and I've used like the.
I don't like
um,
glass tips.
I don't like them either. They kind of feel weird.
They get
But it's better
warm.
than having a soggy joint. Like especially if you're sharing, especially right. Like
I don't know about you. I'm just licking around everything, just like putting it, sucking it, like.
bones going hollow. I think you need to
Sounds
smoke some more
great.
weed, Woody. I just don't
Does.
see you smoking nearly enough weed. You're
Yeah,
making
he's,
far too much sense. You're having your takes are too.
I was gonna
cogent.
say your eyes are opening back up. Time to hit it again.
I was thinking the same thing. So there's not.
If you insist.
I had a thing, but I forgot it. I had a thing all-
Okay.
I literally had a thing all week that I was planning, and I fucking forgot it.
My trip has been amazing, man. I am so digging it. We're in Colorado, obviously, right now. Dude, the one thing, I hate to look at it through this lens, but the transition from red state to blue state couldn't have been more extreme. I was in Oklahoma, and I'm like a straight up sissy in Oklahoma world. These guys are literally cowboys.
Yeah.
They're wearing cowboy hats, non-ironically.
They
sleeping
did
for
Ford
some reason.
F-150.
Yeah,
fucking
all these
truck nuts everywhere.
The motorcycle
yeah.
mechanic lent us his farm truck filled with dirt in the back to get around while he worked on the bikes, which was pretty cool. But I still felt like a fish out of water. You know, I walk in the restaurant with like, I don't know, like a fairy or something. I'm just not like them. It's not the same kind of swagger that these guys all have. They're all just a little slower, a little certain. I'm not sure. And, you know, I don't know. I'm ordering from the menu and rapid pace sentences, and I just don't belong in Oklahoma. And then I kind of had like a certain respect for. Then I go to Colorado, and my God, like I am hating these liberal fancy pantses. Suddenly,
what were you gonna say?
It was something else.
God damn!
Oh no, I switched from asshole to fancy pants. I thought it was a bad word.
I thought
it was never on my head.
I thought you had fat loaded in the chamber.
That was never one of the rounds. So anyway, yeah, these liberal fancy pantses here in Colorado are making me crazy. They're wearing their tie-dyed shoes. They're fucking like mandals, I guess. Not that I have. Not that I don't have any mandals. I know.
Subaru Foresters. It's just,
Subarus. That's like a real thing. You know, I don't know. There was a guy at the restaurant. He might have been high or something because he kept going like, yeah, la 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 la. And I'm just, you're annoying as fuck. There are other people here, and I hate you. I hate you.
What if he had Tourette's? What if you're? That's not like. I don't know if Colorado.
He would do it. His girlfriend would laugh, and I'm like, that is not a good joke. That is a child's burbling, learning to speak. You fucking moron. So yeah, I don't know. I don't fit in either of these states, but it was interesting to go from the most beta guy in Oklahoma to the most alpha guy in Colorado.
Woody and I both, I feel like, are not accurate representations of North Carolina. I feel like we're more of the more proper North Carolinians or whatever. But Oklahoma, if you go to more rural sections of NC or Georgia in Kyle's case, maybe even California, maybe more rural California, you'll find cowboy hat wearing. Yeah,
dude, anywhere that is more than like San Bernardino might be one of the it's an hour and a half with traffic, so about 40 miles away from downtown LA. Mm-hmm. And at that point, anything further is as it's like Trevor in GTA, literally the most racist, like homophobic, fucking. It's crazy. It's might as well be Kentucky.
I'm in rural NC, and I'm about an hour away from Charlotte, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. You know, like one of the biggest cities. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
And like I don't know. I don't think I would fit in Oklahoma, and I can look quite. So I just don't have that. I like what he said, swagger or whatever.
Yeah. It's not American enough.
Not American enough,
right?
Like that's the heartland of the country.
Exactly, man. I don't have
this guy has displayed his blue pride flag so often it's faded to purple.
Now it's a new meaning.
You talking about the guy that could have had Tourette's? Actually, a funny story. This reminded me of. I haven't thought about this in years. Me and some friends went to go see Anchorman 2 way back in the day when that was new and out or whatever, and the theater was packed. So, of course, movie etiquette during comedies is like everybody can fucking laugh as loud as you want. Right. You know, there's no big deal there. So we're watching Anchorman 2. Everybody's laughing, having a good time, but there's one guy who is laughing like he's like laughing like 2 seconds later after everyone else. So there's the whole theater is erupting in laughter, and you hear it quiet down. You hear ha 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 like that every fucking time, and it was kind of in the distance. Me and my friends had to sit kind of It was so packed, we had to sit kind of like two to a seat, you know. And one of my friends who has a pretty short fuse or whatever is sitting in the back, and I could tell from the way the acoustics are that he's right next to this guy. Like the guy that's laughing is right behind him. And I keep looking back occasionally, not only look at the guy, but to look how pissed like my friend's getting. He's red in the face by the fucking shark scene. Like he's fucking like, you know, gripping the sides of his chair or whatever, and red in the fucking face. The movie ends, and I look back, and my friend, I'm like, he's gonna fucking say something. He's gonna say something to this guy who's been fucking laughing like an asshole all movie. And my friend like is red in the face, gets up, turns around, is about to say something. Swear to God, this is a true story. He turns around to say something, and the guy that was laughing was like a special needs guy in a wheelchair.
No.
So then his friend kicked his ass.
He didn't say
that's when he knew.
Yeah. He didn't say anything.
Only in one way.
He turns around and he's like
dumps him out of the chair.
Oh yeah, okay. But I thought that was fucking hilarious. Like it sounded facetious. It sounded like he was doing it to be a dick. because it was like 2 seconds later. But no, he was just processing things a bit slower. Is all.
Was it Mitch McConnell? Or, no. Who was the Republican the other day who like said retarded, and they were going after him, and he was literally like saying it in the nicest way possible. He was talking about literally like getting a school in place for retarded children, like something he had worked on legislative wise to like put in a school for retarded children in some neighborhood or some shit. And they were like, Mitch whoever it was, like says the R slur, and I'm just like, come on, like
it's.
I grew up during the heart of calling people retarded. Okay, like I was in high school in 2001, 2, 3, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw the meanest people I knew never called a retarded person retarded.
We never did. No.
It was never always called a retarded people.
Yeah.
No.
It's like calling someone. I mean, I equate it to like an extreme version of calling someone stupid or something. You know, like or like,
like
don't
you
be
guys
a dumbass.
are gonna age into that. Like, you know, back in my day, we said the N-bomb. That's how we referred to people of color. We called them the N-bomb. I never meant any harm by it. It's okay, according to me.
Yeah. Well, see, I think the line is drawn when you are using that slur to disparage people that slur was originally used to disparage. Like, if I go up to a retarded person and I say, "What are you doing, you fucking retard?" That's bad. But if I'm like with my friends and he I don't know, like walks into a sliding glass door because he thinks it's open, I'm like, don't be a retard. Don't do that again. You know what I mean? There's kind of a difference between, it's contextual, you know? I think context matters a lot with that. People were freaking out about the Hunter Biden text or whatever.
What did he write?
He called, I can't really do him justice, but he's like a 50 or 60-year-old man, and he's casually throwing around the N-bomb. Soft day. But he's just speaking like a SoundCloud rapper. It's not that bad. It's just the fact that he's
Chuck Schumer.
Yeah, it was Chuck Schumer. That's who it was.
Yeah.
I just Googled. It was Chuck Schumer. He said retarded, and he said it like he was doing some sort of like video conference, kind of like what we're doing here, and he was just like, he was talking about like having a school put in for retarded children, and like
just, nobody gave him the memo not to say that on like a public thing, I guess.
You would think he'd know, but and then like whoever he was like on the show with was just like, yeah, that's great. That's great that you got those tards. This nice little school. Right? It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Like,
What's going on with that Matt Gaetz guy? Is he locked up for like sex trafficking or something?
So,
I don't know,
dude, all right.
That's as real as it gets, folks.
Woody, how you feeling, by the way?
I'm good.
You look more relaxed than usual, I will say. You look very you look like you're about to listen to Snoop Dogg and, you know, pop your feet up on the
rolling down the street,
ottoman or something.
Mendo, sipping on gin and juice. It's great. It's great. It's great.
We're gonna have some good fan edits.
Yeah.
Smoke weed every day fan edits coming out.
This whole episode is gonna
Woody
be
or
clipped.
Elon?
It's gonna be clipped and taken out of context by like everything we've said today, so it's fine.
It's easy to do. It's easy to do. Just gotta roll with it. Just gotta figure that's just gonna happen.
Yep.
God, I want to smoke weed so fucking.
You can only get canceled if you agree to being canceled. That's what Donald Trump taught us. Just next week heroin, and they won't be talking about the pot.
Next week, you're right. The classic.
Double down, just double down week after week.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do after heroin. Morphine, maybe. I don't know.
I think heroin's crocodile.
Crocodile, yeah.
Angel dust.
You know those like time lapse videos where they put like food and watch it mold? Do that, but with your arm in crocodile, just like decompose time lapse.
Yeah, like we talked about it last week. I think I was like, I'd probably do heroin. You know, like I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but maybe privately even. Like I was just like, yeah, I'd probably try heroin. Like if it was legal, like because there's that bill that just got dropped recently, proposing to decriminalize most major drugs.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know, right? They can't even get.
They can't even do
marijuana
weed.
banking.
Yeah.
You can't get the banking straight for marijuana on a federal level. So who fucking knows? But I was just like, yeah, I'd probably try heroin. Like why not? Like just a little heroin. Not a lot.
Just a little bit, just a spoon.
A little bit.
A spoonful.
A sample size. Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
a flight of heroines. You know, of heroines.
Heroin.
Like,
I've read how the different drugs make you feel, and heroin is the one that's most appealing. Just unstoppable happiness and contentness. Just whatever's going on.
Just
this
a little
is a thing of beauty.
Just a little too addicting.
Oh, it will ruin your life. It's good that first time.
Like what I really want is like, I want to try the heroin, but I don't want to know where to get more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like the problem with like alcohol and marijuana in most places. I mean, my whole problem, the whole reason I got in trouble was that I didn't know where to get more marijuana, right? Like my drug dealers, dealers, like if I'd known where to get more, I wouldn't have had a problem. I had to like have a friend send it from out of state, and that caused the whole kerfuffle.
Mm-hmm.
But my drug dealer got locked up, and then my second drug dealer also got locked up, and then it was just like, fuck, where do I get? And then like my third drug dealer was like friends with an ex-girlfriend, so it was weird to like call an ex-girlfriend and be like, hey, you got Dave's number still? Like, I don't want to call her and ask for Dave's number, and then I got to drive into the city. So it was a whole thing. It was easy and I was just complaining to like a girl I knew, and she was like, I'll send you weed. And I was like, oh, deal. What could go wrong? But you know, if I just known where to get some weed, it wouldn't have been a problem. The same thing with heroin. I want to do some heroin, but not have any idea where to get more. Because if I do the heroin, I'm just like, that was amazing. You know what I'd love to do now? A little more heroin.
It's a sizable stopgap, right? Because you're right. If somebody was like, go get heroin, my best guess would be like walk down Skid Row and just be like, does anyone have some heroin I could buy? And I don't know if that's gonna be super I don't know if that's gonna work as well as I think it would.
Yeah.
But so you're right, you know, maybe it is a safe stopgap. Safe enough.
Yeah. I have no idea where to get heroin. I could get weed super easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know how to get weed now? They do.
Man, everywhere I go, they're smoking it. Like if I just go for like a nice little leisurely walk in my like my neighborhood, like there's like this like 1.5 mile like loop that I go on sometimes in the neighborhood, and just I'm waving to all my neighbors, and like I'll smell weed at least once through that walk. Like at least one of my neighbors is smoking weed in their yard in broad fucking daylight. Like I don't know, I know all the neighbors who smoke weed because I've seen them do it in their fucking yards. And if that didn't work, I just start going to gas stations and sniffing for it. I smelled it today, like I said. Like I could totally be like, hey man, you smoking a little weed over there? Can I hit some? Can you tell me where to get some?
You got just the green crack, brother.
If I wanted to smoke weed at home, I don't have any way to get it. I don't have any idea, right? I could either ask subs, but that's sketchy because some of them hate me. I could go to a local college campus and just grab my skateboard and hello fellow kid it, but I don't know if that's going to work out either. What I would actually do is just use Delta 8 instead, because I can buy that at stores.
Yeah, it's just a little too easy. I mean, not even, it's like literally I could get it delivered. I could walk across the street. I could do it and they take card. I can pay with card for delivery weed. In-app purchases. It's like at that point, it's like, well, okay, there is no limit. Like, and they'll deliver it at like 4 a.m. It's like
that's amazing.
That's so sick.
Oh, it's wonderful.
So much luxury. Like
it was because that was like the nightmare, right? To like run out of weed
and then have no way to get more.
Imagine the horror.
I can't tell you the horror. It really is fucked. Like when you're just like when you like to smoke and you smoke a lot, and like your friends like to smoke with you, and you're just out and they're out. Like I'd be calling, like I'd have like 2 or 3 friends that I like spoken code to. I won't go into the code at this point. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but like we had code. So I'd be like, hey, do you have any blah, blah, blah? But blah, blah, blah sounded nothing like weed. And they'd be like, nope, I'm fresh out of apricots or whatever I was, calling weed. And they're like, do you know where I can get some tangerines maybe? Or some navel oranges or anything like, Nope. No citrus to be had. Fuck. All right, I really need some vitamin C over here, man. Like I don't want to get scurvy. It's been a day, but that's how it was for a while. It was one point where I had lots of friends who just had it or knew where to get it, and then like it seemed like there was some like broad sweeping fucking thing in my area where like all my contacts got locked up. like within like a 3-month period. Like they were all getting arrested. I should have
Crack
taken
down.
that as a sign, right? I should be like, seems like everybody's getting arrested.
Yeah, I should order mail.
Maybe I should pack my bags and go to Colorado. I should just pack my bags and move to Colorado. There's no reason I couldn't have. Just go.
How many more days? It must be 101.
108 or something.
I feel like it was 108 last show.
I feel like it was 108 a year ago. You know, it's fucking ticked down so slowly. 106 days, 5 hours, 57 minutes, and 45 seconds.
Maybe it was 108 on PKN.
Yeah. But I'm pretty excited. Me and the boys are going to have a great time in Colorado, and I might never come back.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't.
I'm never going to smoke. I'm not going to smoke in a state where it's not legal again. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
No more trouble for me.
Yeah.
Not only legality, but like it's not as safe. There were these the last time I had any, I guess, experience with marijuana was a really bad one. We got these like homemade edibles someone brought over, but the person that brought them didn't make them. Whenever she handed them out to everybody, it was a bad time. A buddy of mine started having like he was like sweating, and the best way I can put it is my teeth itched. I don't know what the fuck was in them, meth or something. I don't fucking know, but it was not good. It wasn't a sensation I've ever felt before, and I don't want to feel it again. So I haven't really messed around since
That's
then.
the other thing I want to get back into. Like I used to cook a lot of edibles. I'm really good at it. Like I've got a whole process. It's really in depth. It takes, several hours, and I make really, really fucking good edibles that taste good and are strong as fuck.
Nice.
And but I've had edibles from other people before that just ruined my night.
Yeah.
They just ruined my whole fucking night.
I'm convinced that, I don't really like eating edibles at all because it seems to me like it is always a kind of a grab bag, even though they say 5 milligram or 3 milligram or 10. Like some days I'll just take, like 20 milligrams and I will be fine. Or other days, like I'll be on my ass drooling after 10. And it's like, I don't like that level of,
This is dispensary level, like, like
professional made, like,
professional. That's what I'm looking for.
Tastes great. Like there's a company called Cann, CANN.
Mhm.
It's 5 milligram THC, 3 milligram CBD in a seltzer kind of thing, whatever. Obviously, it doesn't taste like weed; just tastes like a sparkling water. But like that's something that a lot of people who don't even like to smoke will drink because it's just enough if you have one or two to feel something, but you're not going too crazy. But it just other types of like edibles, it just feels like way too much of a grab bag. I'll be fucked up or whatever.
Yeah, it's been like when we would go on our Colorado trips, like there'd be 2 or 3 of us sometimes, and like I'd usually bring my girlfriend, and so everybody would be like catching different flights home, and I would always make sure that my flight was the last flight home because I get all the leftover drugs.
I've heard this. That's hilarious.
So like Chiz has already caught his like train or his bus back home, and Taylor's already flown out. His stagecoach, the Pony Express has already left out of the station, and like Taylor's already flown out, and whoever else, and now it's just me and my girlfriend. It's time for us to like drive to the airport, and all of the drugs are like we've cleaned the whole like rental house up, but all the drugs are right there in the center of the table, and I'm just like, gotta do all these drugs before we leave, baby. I was like, gotta do all these drugs. There's no way we leave drugs behind, and I don't know how I feel about moving drugs back home. Well, yeah, there's edibles. We can move those back home. Just put them in a box of candies. They'll be fine. I do that all the time. If you just go buy a box of like Junior Mints and like take edible Junior Mints and pour out like half the Junior Mints and pour in the edible Junior Mints and then top it off with regular Junior Mints and then wax the box closed and throw it in your luggage. Now you got a box of weed Junior Mints.
That's actually genius. Yeah, I like that.
It went far more in depth than that. I was having to buy a lot of different store-bought candies to match the edible candies that I had. I brought so many edibles back one time, but all the other stuff, it was like we got to smoke or eat like all this stuff that we can't bring home with us. And so like I get high as fuck. The airport in Colorado has like this like park and sit area where you can just like chill. and I almost feel like it's set up for this. So like we'd park there, and I would just smoke everything. I would just smoke like it's just one. I had that one of those cheap bowls, and I would just smoke bowl after bowl after bowl. I'm like, oh, I gotta smoke it all. I don't want to throw anything away, baby. We gotta smoke it all. And
He's
she's like,
just being frugal.
Smoke. Yeah, I can't smoke anymore. And I'm like, I got you. I got you. I'm sitting there smoking like a 1/4 ounce of weed in 20 minutes or something like that. And then there's all the edibles that I can't bring back. Like I bought this bottle of pills once, and it was like THC pills. And I was just like, fuck it. And I just like took them all.
Oh,
I don't even know how much it was. Like I took like 30 pills. They're supposed to be like 5 milligrams each. They didn't work. And but then like all the chocolates that were like they like said THC on the chocolate. Like there was no way to like smuggle that shit. So I'm just like, I eat all those, and I'm going through airport security just like the drug dog walks by and I think it's a rhinoceros or some shit. Like just so goddamn high out of my gourd getting on the airplane, because you never know what those edibles are actually going to do to you. Because like those like Tic Tac THC pills did nothing, but like the chocolates would just send me to the fucking moon. Like my dose was about 75 milligrams, something like that. Like that's where I would be like comfortable and happy and not scary town. But at 100 or 100 plus, like not so comfortable anymore. And then one night we ate some like homemade stuff, and I went to another fucking planet. It had to have been 200 or 300 or more milligrams. Like I vomited from being so high from weed.
Jesus.
That has never happened to me, and I'm very thankful. Like that is a tough situation to find yourself in when you have consumed too many edibles. Like I drank, I thought it was a 35 milligram like drink before I got on a continental flight. I guess I was going to like London or whatever. And I was like, I want to get on that plane and just be out. I don't want to wake up 8 hours just drooling.
Yeah.
Well, it worked, but it was 350 milligrams. So I'm standing there waiting to board the plane. And like, you know, I just like, I can't think straight. I'm not paying attention. Like I'm like dozing off in here. Slept the whole way, but I was so uncomfortable. And just to know like 4 more hours at least, buddy, like you're in it. You can't do anything to get out. It's not like coffee is going to save you.
I had, when the first time I ever had edibles, my friend knew this woman who grew weed, like outdoor hippie chick who grew weed out in a field. And so like when she would like do her harvest, she had the trimmings. And for Woody's benefit, the trimmings are like not the bud part of weed, not the part you really want. It's like the little like leaves and
trash,
stems. Right? It's the trash. You wouldn't smoke it, but it does have THC in it. And if you use it for edibles, if you use enough of it, it still works. You just need to use more of it. And he gave me like a shoebox of them, like a shoebox full of trimmings, like several pounds. And we cooked that down into like these fudge brownies. And I've never been so high in my goddamn life. That was such a fucking nightmare.
Did it taste bad? It sounds like leaves and twigs and shit. It's not going to taste good.
You're not actually. The THC is taken out of those into oil, and then that oil is used to make fudge brownies. So you're not like eating twigs and leaves and stuff. But it did have a bit of a funky taste. But it was so strong with like the fudgy brownie shit that like you didn't mind so much. And I ate 2 slices because the first one didn't work right away, of course, because it's an edible. And we were just watching Trailer Park Boys, and all of a sudden, like, I was having like extreme time dilation where like big pieces of like my existence were just scattered to the wind. And then I would be like, oh, I'm alive again. I'm alive again. Where am I? Oh, and we're going back in. And like episodes were just like on and off. It was like I was watching a I don't know, a frame by frame type thing with the Trailer Park Boys. And that's when I threw up. And because it was fudge brownie, it was like when Cartman like reverse shit out of his mouth, like when he's putting the food in his butt and shitting it. I like vomit this turd of fudge brownie into the toilet. It was so fucking gross. But my metabolism was like much faster than my girlfriend's. So like I had pretty much gotten over it by the time we like finally went to bed that night. And she was like, I don't know, I never felt anything. And I'm like, all right, well, lucky you, because that was traumatizing. and like 2 a.m, she just like bolts up in bed. She's like, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She's like, where am I? And I'm like, you're at my house, baby. What's wrong? She's like, where do you live? And I'm like, I live in Gumlog. She's like, that's so far from where I live. And she starts crying. And I'm just like, well, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You know, you're going home. You can go home tomorrow or the next day or whenever you want. We can't go home now because I'm fucked up and you're super fucked up. But, you know, we'll get you home. Okay. She's, I'm so thirsty. I'm like, all right, I'll go get you a glass of water. I'll be right back. And she like grabs my arm with both hands. Don't leave me. And I'm like, all right, well, come with me. We'll get the water. I'm not going anywhere. She's just like, oh my God. She was so fucking high and paranoid from those edibles. That was a nightmare scenario.
Paranoia and like the time, I don't know what you call it, like time diffraction.
Dilation.
When you get dilation when you get really high. There was one time I heard I was high at a party, and it was a small little gathering or whatever, and like we're watching this movie. I'm pretty high, and I hear like a door, like a car door slam or something. It was pretty loud, and I paused the movie. I'm like, did you guys just hear that fucking car door? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, turn off the lights, like it's fucking cops. It's gotta be like it's nobody, because I live in the rural South. It's like midnight. Nobody slams a car door at fucking midnight except the cop. So I rush everybody into my bedroom, turn off all the lights, and we're just sitting there in the fucking dark for 10 minutes. And they're like, Anthony, it's not a cop. I'm like, just wait, wait,
just be sure.
Just be sure. Another time I was high playing this card game, and it's like 30 seconds per turn. And I remember like it's my turn and I'm taking my time on the game. And it seems like I've been taking my time for like 3 minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes. And I'm like, is my time going to run out? Like, what's going on? Am I hacking? Like, what's going on? It's very strange. But yeah, I really need to, it sucks being in, like, I envy Tucker because I would kill for fucking delivery weed of any sort.
So
it's gotta be a liberal.
I don't know.
With our gay weed and our high gas prices.
If the delivery man fucked me in the ass when he showed up, I'd be like, all right. I'm lubed up. Let's do this.
I'm ordering a whole ounce at a time.
First. Can I smoke and then we do the
what's the most I can get per time?
Andre is on the way with your order. Oh shit, no. Send Tristan. Jamal ruined me last week. Don't get me started about Omar. That weed was not worth the fucking squeeze. Yeah, I wish, man. It's fucking rough having to like black market some fucking weed. I'm getting out of the state as soon as possible.
It really is. I have one buddy of mine who he was my like dealer before he moved to Washington, like Seattle, to work in the field, because North Carolina, there's not a lot of jobs pertaining to weed. And I remember he brought back, he came back to visit, and he brought back the best fucking weed from there, that it made all the weed around here seem like just complete dog shit. It was legal, of course, you know, like legally grown, specially grown. I can't remember what strain it was, but it was fantastic. You could smell it through a plastic bag in my dresser. It was that potent, very potent. But yeah, now I'm just envying.
Kind of get you caught. It's the kind of get you caught by your parents. And you're like, God damn it, dude.
Or by the feds.
Or by the feds.
They can be walking by outside, smell it in the bag, in the dresser, unlit. You know,
that was the problem with my weed. You could smell it through the bag and through the shipping bag and through the PO box. And you'd be in the parking lot, like, my weed arrived. I can smell it in there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm so sick and tired of being sober all the time. It's just no fun. No fun.
Life is pain, you know.
Life is pain.
Yeah.
Life is pain. I just want to get a little fucked up. Like not all the time. I mean, I've got to sleep.
Just most of the time.
Just like all the time I'm awake is when I want to be high.
How do you get to sleep without indica?
a very real problem.
You sleep so much better with weed, dude. Like you'll see tonight. You'll see tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to put weed against a BPAP machine and see who wins.
They mix together. Fish was talking about feeding fucking marijuana smoke into somebody's BPAP while they were asleep.
Huh. That would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would go so stale by the time it made its cycle. Like they'd be like it would be really rough. That would be awful.
Also, my BPAP anyway, the good one I have, it's heated, humidified, pressurized, and filtered. So I don't know what I would get on the other end of all that.
You need to get one of those volcanoes and just blow into the BPAP.
They didn't take my volcano away. Apparently those are like okay because you can smoke like legal stuff out of them or
what
whatever.
Kind of psychopath would smoke tobacco out of a volcano like that?
I don't know.
A huge 3-foot thing. You're just like ripping a whole cigarette in one breath.
Dude, a whole that's a whole new hipster vibe. You're gonna.
I hate the volcano though. Yeah. Like I'd much rather smoke a blunt or a joint or one of those tiny like $4 glass bowls than a volcano. And the volcano is $500.
Yep, it just doesn't go for me.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Did you buy it, or did you just know someone with it?
I mean, I bought it. Yeah, yeah. I have. I
don't know why I asked that. You said you still had it. I made it. You tried it. I'm sorry.
It's a cool gadget.
That's a high question. It's
it's a cool gadget to get out. Like you've got people over, and like, oh, you guys want to smoke? Do you? Well,
it's more of a like a how people have the big books on their coffee table and people ask about them. Conversation piece. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I had a cheap vape one time. It was this like a little box with like a hose that ran out of it, kind of like a hookah, and you put the weed in like a little cartridge and plug that into the machine, and it plugged into the wall. But it was just super wasteful. That was the other like downside of it. Like the amount of like minutes of you being stoned that you would get per ounce of weed was like really low compared to like a bowl or a bong.
What's the upside? Why would anyone like it?
It's really smooth. And it's that's it. I think it's really smooth.
Smoother than a vape. This thing kind of nothing.
I don't know. It's close. It's probably on the same. Probably on par with the vape. It takes like marijuana flower, like just like what you would like think of as marijuana, like the green stuff, and it vaporizes it at like the perfect temperature. Like you have a digital dial, so you set it for the exact temperature you want, and you can like Google what temperature you want. And so it doesn't like burn the weed; it like decarbs it.
So it gives you the vape experience from flower.
Yeah, and no smoke. It's not smoke; it's vapor.
The whole point is that it's only heating it to the perfect amount, so it's not lighting it on fire. It's just you're just heating it enough so it releases the THC.
Yeah, and you fill this big fucking bag up. It's got like a big clear bag. The bag is like this big. And like really big, and it fills that with the vapor, and then you've got like a nozzle so you can like suck out of the bag. But like I don't know, I didn't like anything about it. That the nozzle would pinch my lips a couple times to the point where they bled, which was just obnoxious, incredibly painful. Probably because I was so high, but also like it just seemed wasteful with weed, and I never had like a great like steady source of weed where it was like, oh yeah, let's go get more tomorrow. It was always like, hope they got some more.
Yeah,
kids these days have it too easy.